Maseches Taanis Daf Gimel. The Kvegenis Chuvas was asked to Shiloh about Od Ish Zokin that was makabel b'shvur das Rabbim. That he's not going to be mishamish anymore as a shliach tzibur or as a nemon for the kal. He used to be a shliach tzibur and he was a gabbai that took responsibility for the kal, and he made a shvur that he's not going to continue his responsibilities. And after a while, he realized that he has no parnos and can't continue such a situation without any job to support himself. And he came to the Rabbanim and asked them if there's any way that he will be allowed to be a nemon in the kal, and he'll be a gabbai for the kal, but he won't be a shliach tzibur. So since his shvur specifically that he shouldn't be a shliach tzibur and a nemon, the shaila is if he could be a nemon without being a shliach tzibur. So Kvega has a tremendous discussion that it's told the Mechlikas Beinus and Beishia, whenever two halachas were stated together in the Torah, it's mashma echad b'fnei atzmoi or mashma shteim ke'echad. Ish kiyak is oviv es imoy. It's mashma, or the whole chiv is only as oviv es imoy together, or even each one independently. Then Kvega says over here, it's not holy in that child over here to show the noshim b'nei adam, and so makes a shvu and he's makabel that he will not continue to be a shliach tzibur and an emon, and he stated clearly in the shvur the two of them together is his entire kabbalah not to do both of them, but each one independently he could continue, or his intention was to make a shvur in each one independently. And Kveger says he have a raya from the Gemara over here, Taanis Daf Gimel, that the Gemara says b'tal beruchos, by do and by ruchos, there's no chiv to mention Shemon Esrei b'ol lahaskim. The Gemara explains the reason why there's no obligation to mention tal and ruchos in Shemon Esrei, because it's like matzar means it doesn't stop and it'll always continue to have dew and wind. And the Gemara says, how do you know that's like matzar? From the fact that Eliyahu made a shvur to Achav that there won't be tal. And then the pasuk says, continues, however, tal, it wasn't stated that they will be given. So you see, the tal, there was regardless, because tal was never metzah. And Kvega asked that Tzorchian, if tal is consistent and can never stop, so the Gemara should ask further the fact that it was stated in the shvur that they wouldn't be tal only if dvarai, the chelik of the shvur that's mentioned tal should be considered shvur shov, since regardless there's always tal, so it should be considered shvur shov. So Kvege says the answer to this kasha is that's not considered shvur shov, because since it was mentioned motor and tal together, so therefore the entire das and understanding of the shvur was that they shouldn't be motor and tal together, but motor without tal or tal without motor could be. So therefore, if there wouldn't be motor but there is tal, it wouldn't be against the shvur. And that the Gemara says, nevertheless, if since tal's like matzah, so what was the point of mentioning in the shvur b'chal, since regardless there is a kiyum of tal, but upon him, Kvega says the mashmois of this Gemara is the whole Kabbalah shvur was both of them together. Moving from the Gemara basis, even if someone says Ma'aver Ruach Mafriach Hatal Eimach Zir Noisai, Ein Gilyonis from the Stipler that says it's mashma from this Gemara that even if someone mentions a nusach in Shemon Esrei, that's not a chiluk of Shemon Esrei in any area, nevertheless it's not considered a hefsik as long as it was stated as part of his teffilah. In the suga over here, there's a tremendous chiddush in the Ritva, the gabi a hefsik in teffilah. The Ritva has a whole discussion about if you forget hazkara that you machzir noisoi, hazkara is a machzir noisoi. He says it's only a discussion of machzir noisoi when you finish the bracha. However, if you didn't finish the bracha, you can go back, and that's not part of the discussion machzir noisoi or not. And it brings a machlokes if you finish the bracha, but you didn't start the next bracha. If you could mention the hazkara between the brachas, ayin shulchan aruch, in some kufyudal, the Mechaber says you could mention it. Bein bracha lebracha, ayin bei halacha. That's many places can hold like that. And then the Ritva says b'shem Riyah Chosid that if you start saying Baruch Atah Hashem, you don't finish the bracha, and you forgot a hazkara that machzira noisoi, or even if the hazkara that's a machzira noisoi, you could finish the bracha with amdinu chukecha the same way you will mention if you make a bracha by eitz and the pre fell out of your hand, you finish the bracha with amdinu chukecha, which is a pasuk. So who did the milishman esrei? If you finish the bracha of Mechayim Eisim with amdinu chukecha, so you didn't finish the bracha of Mechayim Eisim, so then you could go back and say Mashav Ruach. And he brings from Rabbeinu Tzafostim that said that you can't say amdinu chukecha milishman esrei only if you missed the hazkara that's machzir nesei. However, a hazkara that's a machzir nesei, you can't finish the bracha with amdinu chukecha. It's a tremendous chiddush in the Ritva that milishman esrei you could finish the bracha with amdinu chukecha in order that you shouldn't have to machzir nesei on the fact that you missed the hazkara. The Pi'alocha and Simchuf Yudalid also says like the Ritva. However, Moshe, Nigus Moshe's matmiya on the Ritva. He says if you say a pasuk in milishman esrei, that's definitely considered a hefsik, and you lose the entire bracha and a tefillah you middle of saying. So therefore, Moshe says l'maisi you should finish the bracha and mention that score between the two brachas. The Sefer Emek bracha, which we mentioned this year in brachas teffilah medalid, compares this to a discussion that Chayyim writes that if someone is a milishman esrei and is not sure how to continue davening, he's allowed to go to his farm shank and get a safe and to ma'ayin. How do you continue if you missed part of davening? And he's mesupik the Chayyim, if he's allowed to go and ask a shayla to a rov, how could he continue milishman esrei? And Ishmas Adam compares it to al sugya bracha staff mem that's not considered hefsik of a bracha to be mafsik litzorech of the bracha. And the bracha says similar to the Ritva that the Ritva says that you could say amdinu chukecha, which is a pasuk, which is technically considered a hefsik in milishman esrei, since it's a tzorech, because otherwise you'll have to be machzir the entire bracha and stuff in the beginning of shemon esrei. Therefore, it's not considered a hefsik. However, the Emek bracha is ma'orer that Nishmas Adam compares going asking a shayla or leaving Yimokim teffilah milishman esrei. That litzorech bracha is not considered hefsik is different because there's a specific havana a person has to have milishman esrei. There's a oimid lefnei hamelech, and therefore, if someone leaves the mokim teffilah, if he goes ask a shayla to rov milishman esrei, it's considered there's mevatel his amida lefnei hamelech and has independent chashivas of a hefsik, which is specifically tishman esrei and can't compare to a hefsik by brachas. And although the Ritva says you could say amdinu chukecha, that's amdinu chukecha saying a pasuk in the middle of the amid of shemon esrei, that's not considered you muvatil the amid of lefnei hamelech. Moving for the other Rishonim have a tremendous arichas, and that is a vur. In the Gemara, different haskaras they have to mention. If you didn't say Mashav Ruach, say Machzir Noisoi. If you didn't say Moed Agoshi Machzir Noisoi. And the Rishonim say that if you forgot to say Mashav Ruach, you could say later on in Shemon Esrei, Milah Shomeia teffilah. And if you didn't say V'sein Talamot Levracha, you can mention in Shomeia teffilah. Taanis says if you forgot to mention V'sein Talamot and Shomeia teffilah, and loy oka raglav from Shemon Esrei, you could go back to Shomeia teffilah. And it's more like that in the Bahag, brought in the Ran. However, the Rambam and the Ravid brought in the Ran argues and says that if you forgot the same Talamot of Shomeia teffilah, you can't go back to Shomeia teffilah. You have to go back to Baruch Aleinu. However, Taanis holds you could go back to Shomeia teffilah. You don't have to go back to Baruch Aleinu. And the Ran speaks out, although the halacha is if someone forgets Havdalah alakois, he goes back to tefillah, and it's not enough to be bechoizer to tefillah alakois. And the Ran says over here, if you miss that score of Saint Halmotam in Shomeia tefillah, it's different because since tefillah is chod milsu, you're still in middle of Shemon Esrei, so therefore you go back to Shomeia tefillah according to the Ravid. And he says furthermore, since you forgot Saint Halmotam by Baruch Aleinu, so it's neschayiv to imansk of Saint Halmotam by Shomeia tefillah. So therefore, if you forget by Shomeia tefillah, you go back to Shomeia tefillah. It's tzorchin. What's the oimuk of the machlokes? We show him if you have to go back to Baruch Aleinu, you can go back to Shema Aleinu. I in the Sefer Zikaron the Baal Pachad Yitzchak that explains the Mahir of the Oimek and the Choykes Yishonim is in the Geder of that you must give Saint Halamot and Shmei Tefillah if you forget the Saint Halamot by Baruch Aleinu. Is the Pshat that it's Begeder of Sheilas Tzrochav and Shmei Tefillah, the same way you could ask all Tzrochav Shmei Tefillah, so then you could ask for Saint Halamot and Levracho, or it's Mi'ikat Akona of hazkara Saint Halamoto, that at the time you forgot to mention Saint Halamoto at Baruch Aleinu, it's chal chiv to save Saint Halamoto b'shmei tefillah, and it's mi'ik matbeya shetovu Chazal to mention Saint Halamoto b'shmei tefillah. So since you forgot Saint Halamoto b'shmei tefillah, you machzit b'shmei tefillah. However, the other Rishonim hold that the ikam mokum and Shemini Esrei to mention Saint Halamoto is specifically by Baruch Aleinu. So if you forget b'shmei tefillah, although you were able to say in Shmei tefillah because of hazkara tzrochav, however you forget, you have to go back to the ikam mokum of the hazkara of Saint Halamoto, which is in Baruch Aleinu.